Well, it looks like MGS2 is on a complete roll when it comes to modding. So if you're a fan of that game, you're in for a massive treat, to be honest. Konami did very little to properly fix up the Master Collection version of MGS2, and by that I mean they basically did nothing compared to what the community has managed to pull off. They actually did more for MGS3 as well. And then once again, modders came in and fixed a bunch of problems affecting this version. The discoveries around the game's leftover code have helped drastically for sure. And at this point, Konami might as well just hand these versions over to the modders for the other games too, because they're doing a lot of stuff with them. And I find it extremely odd that MGS3 got HD textures while MGS2 was sort of just left behind by Konami. And I'm not even going to mention MGS1 because honestly, whatever happened there. Just recently we got the third person and first person camera mods which gave the game a completely new perspective. This is especially interesting because the third person camera appears to come from leftover experiments tied to HD collection era, which Kojima had previously mentioned was something they tested out but never properly implemented. Well, now thanks to Afevis and the MGS HD fix team, we've got just that. On top of that, we're also getting a lot of fixes through HD fix, as I mentioned. More recently, Afevis has also been working on restoring the missing color filters from the PS2 version. Bluepoint for some reason did not implement those at all, and I always felt like something was missing with the HD version, but I could never quite put my finger on it. Pro is genuinely cooking with these updates, and he's clearly not stopping anytime soon. I highly recommend you drop him a follow on Twitter and YouTube to stay up to date with his work. Links will be in the description. Put simply, MGS fans are eating really good this year. Now, I do not want to waste any more of anyone's time, so I'll get straight to the point. The situation here is basically the same with MGS3. My single recommendation is to install Afevis' mod pack, but this time I would recommend using the AI upscale textures as an optional extra. I do think MGS2 has aged particularly well, which is maybe why Konami decided not to give us HD textures. I don't know. But the textures still hold up surprisingly nicely, and with the AI upscale, I genuinely could not see many of the usual artifacting problems that are common with AI upscale textures, but it just helps to smooth out the overall visual presentation a little bit. Of course, if you do not want this, I'll also provide an alternative link in the description for the non-AI upscaled version of this mod pack. And again, it's entirely optional, right? The main thing you want is the mod pack itself because it resolves a big bulk of issues present in the Master Collection version. MGS HD fix alone adds things like custom resolutions, ultra-wide support, aspect ratios, launcher skipping, you know, a lot of things you want, like skipping those fucking yee ass intros that you get every time, higher LOD model settings, and a lot of quality of life tweaks that genuinely, if you play the Master Collection without these, you're missing out. For MGS2 specifically, recent MGS HD fix releases also added options like swapping OK and cancel prompts. You know, when you had on PlayStation 2 circle and X, that always fucked with my head. So you can have that again with this mod. And forcing high poly models for certain characters, you know, restoring the original Japanese mobile phone ringtone, and a few difficulty restoration options as well, in case the game wasn't hard enough already. I know, I'll probably just have a skill issue. So yeah, it's not just one tiny fix, it's basically a whole quality of life restoration package at this point, and it's great. I could really go over every single detail, but honestly, that'll take hours and it'll probably bore you, and I know people value their time. The installation itself is fairly painless. You maybe click 3 times in total in Vortex to make sure everything's working correctly and you're pretty much set. I should also mention that this now includes the third person and first person camera mods that I've kind of briefly showed in my video. So you're not just getting fixes, you're also getting a genuinely fresh way to experience MGS2. Notebook Check also recently reported that MGS HD fix added support for both first person and third person camera modes in the Master Collection version. Once everything is installed, I highly recommend going into your game's install folder and then into the plugins folder and adjusting settings for MGS HD fix specifically to your needs and wants. This is where you can directly change things like the resolution, various other tweaks including the camera settings. And with that, you're pretty much done. You can get this set up in about 10 to 20 minutes. It really doesn't take long, give or take, of course, depending on your internet speed. And after that, MGS2 is in a much better place than the version Konami shipped. Thank you for watching, and peace.